right. Should we get started?
Yeah, it's 34, I guess, huh? No.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
So thank you for joining us this afternoon or this morning, depending on where you're at around the globe. I'm joined by my friend Angelica Kalidas from 2Foqus, and we're going to talk about a wonderful contact tracing COVID-19 application that I got a chance to see a few weeks ago as they were creating it, and immediately I latched onto it within minutes and said, we have to have a webinar. You have to show this. So we scrambled to get this together, and happy to have you all here. And with that, we'll move over. So we have Angelica here, the strategic advisor of data and analytics and a manager of education at 2Foqus. I'm your co-host, Joe Warbington from Vizlib, the senior director of industry solutions. I get to work with our partners like Angelica and our customers to create the art of the possible with Vizlib and Qlik. And this solution, I didn't have a hand in much other than just getting to see it and maybe suggesting a few things here and there, but I latched onto it immediately. So with that, we want to jump right in. I'm going to stop sharing and Angelica's going to take over. She might have a few slides to orient you to the solution, and then we'll jump in and actually walk through how it's used in an organization for registering, contact tracing, and monitoring employees and visitors.
Yeah, correct. So I hope you can all hear me well. I'm going to share my sheets first. Some sheets we prepared. So my name is Angelica. I am from the company in Holland called 2Foqus. We built the contact registration app. My colleague actually did it because I think of a lot of things, but I'm not that capable enough to build actually those beautiful things without my beautiful and fantastic colleagues from 2Foqus. And I started to get this idea, and then we started working together, and we showed it, as Joe said, to Joe, and he got really excited. So I am Angelica. I am from 2Foqus from the Netherlands. I work at 2Foqus since June this year. I worked a long period, I think about 25, 26 years in the governmental area. And from there, I switched to the commercial world. I am a teacher already for about 13 years at the University of Applied Sciences in Amsterdam, and where I teach this beautiful business data and analytics to students. And I am for the fourth year in a row a Qlik luminary. And I love to work with data and think of all kinds of solutions that can help organizations. 2Foqus, this is our office. It's beautiful, situated in Breda, here in the Netherlands. My two managers, Dave and Michael, started around 2006-07 with each other to build a company in data and analytics. First focused on Qlik, and now we do some more things, and also, of course, use the beautiful products of Vizlib to add more value in our dashboards and reports. About 20 colleagues, and we actually have a lot of fun. Today I returned at 3 o'clock from a beautiful sales 2-day session, and we prepared 2021, which was great. Our focus is data literacy. That's my topic. I am a teacher by heart, my DNA, and we deliver data literacy as a service. And it's actually a complete program that we can offer for the people, with the people, of course. That's my favorite sentence. We do data management. We have the Qlik products, but also Power BI, and we work also with Python and R. And we have our education area below that, technical, but also data literacy. And we have our support desk, which is helping our customers to solve problems. So from here, we will switch to the beautiful COVID-19 dashboards that we have prepared. So it all started with an idea like when I was reading some stories about our GDPR regulations, I found some complaints around the topic that people were getting into restaurants or getting into offices and register their names and on a piece of paper, and their phone number and an email address. And one of the biggest complaints was that this beautiful lady came into a restaurant and she registered herself, and a man behind her thought she was a pretty girl, and he made a photo of her personal details and started stalking her. This actually really happened. And from that point of view, I started thinking like, okay, this is really something that we maybe can help with the Vizlib form and the Vizlib Writeback solution to see if we can build something safe to register, which disappears immediately. And secondly, we have a dashboard to trace, to contact and trace people that were maybe infected or have a problem, so we can find out if somebody was near us and inform the people that they should be tested or should take care of things. And that's actually the concept that we started working on. And this is the form that you see. It's simply the form from Vizlib.
My screen's not updating, perhaps, but I still see your slides.
Well, let me have a look.
I just see PowerPoint.
Okay, so let me try to stop sharing and do it again. Okay. Share screen. There we go again. And can you see it now better then?
There we go.
Cool. So
hopefully
there it is.
Just me, but yep, we're good now. We can see the form.
I didn't fill anything yet. So this is the form that we actually are going to use from coming week. When people come in, they can register here, and you can answer the questions around COVID. And let me try to add Joe as a visitor. So Joe, I'm going to add you now.
All right. Joe, good. You got my last name. You spelled it quite a bit. Easy one, Joe at vizlib.com.
Oh, not Vizlib, but Vizlib.
We registered that domain as well. Don't worry.
Oh, so I'll just make a fake phone number, because then your company's name is Vizlib, and you are my contact. You are visiting me today. So typing and presenting is a little bit hard, and I'm also a little bit nervous. So it's about 4 minutes. No, so 4 o'clock. That's the time you gave me. You come for a kind of meeting, as you can see down below, because the training more people are in a room. If you have consultancies, mostly 1 or 2 persons, but you are here to have a meeting with me regarding the Vizlib materials that we are talking about. So, and here are the questions. You can answer them with yes or with no. In this case, I'm guessing that you have any complaints or any people around you that had COVID, and that is all the questions that you can add here. So I just press submit, and if I press submit, your personal details are immediately stored in the QVW on the back end, and then you can see on the left side of the screen that I have 1 visitor on the 11th. That goes automatically. So there, the form is registered, and you see the form is completely empty again, and your personal data is gone and stored somewhere else. Perfect. From this point of view, for the visitors, it's done. But then we have our offers manager who can have a look around the dashboard to see how many visitors did we have the last 2 weeks, for who they came for. You see, of course, the weekends here down below. We have no visitors at the office, but you can see that we have a number of visitors. Of course, it is all fake because I prepared the demo set. You can see that some people have a meeting here, some people have a training, some come for a consultancy or other, and we do not have any risk visitors or a visitor with a risk. If one of the questions in the form should be answered with a yes, we see immediately a risk indicator. But in this case, we just assume that nobody has the virus or nobody has complaints or in his neighborhood. But then if we go to the details, we can see all the people in a list. And this list is saved for 14 days. That's bounded by rules in the Netherlands. In the Netherlands, after 14 days, everything should be moved for the 14th day or the 15th day. So you will not see any older data which is older than 14 days. But if somebody comes to me, calls me, and for example, on the 7th of December, we had Janice van Oort, and Janice is calling me. And I can see she came here for at our office for a training, and my colleague Bas gave a training. So I can select her, and I can see immediately nothing. Hold on. Why? I have to do the date, of course. Let me try. Well, pop up. Janice, there you are. So I select the date. And there it is.
All right. We're going to see everybody that was there on that date.
Yeah, that's it. But the selection is not taking. I don't know what is happening. It's a demo, eh? Always. We have an issue. Let me see. And then Janice is calling us, and Janice says, I'm so sorry, but I am sick. I got tested, and I have to inform you and my fellow trainers that were in the room of the training that I'm affected. So people should take care of themselves. So then we go to the Writeback form. I selected the date, as you can see here on top. Janice van Oort came. I have the phone number. I have all the phone numbers from the people that were there. I have the email addresses from people that were there. I know they were in a training. I see one person that came to visit my manager, Dave, who also present at this presentation. And I see that I have to inform those people. But Janice, I just have to take care that she reported herself in the Writeback functionality. Have you had COVID-19 diagnosed by a lab test, and has it been diagnosed within the last 14 days? And here I change it into yes. And that's it. I write it back. And if we go to the dashboard, we just have to wait until it's written back to the QVW. And if we go back to the dashboard, you can see automatically that we have a risk here, that we have a red signal. And from here, I can go back again to the details and start calling everybody that was around the training. And to be sure that everybody is called, we also have the possibility to toggle to say, yes, I have called here, and I called on the 11th of December. And I can put informed by Angelica.
Yeah, so if you're the office manager,
yeah,
or the unlucky individual, I would say, that has to go contact all of these people, we wanted to make sure that they're able to contact everybody, keep track of that. You know, maybe you weren't able to get a hold of somebody, but you can write in here, left a voicemail, had to send an email, and let's make sure that we're doing adequate, contact tracing and informing people.
Correct. And it's so important to do that in the correct way, because we want to be safe and within our contact bubbles, as you call it at Vizlib, and inform our contacts that somebody was diagnosed with COVID-19,
right,
and that they should take care. And from a point of view, from privacy regulations, I don't think you have to say this and this person has been infected. You just say we received a message that somebody was diagnosed with COVID, so please take care, and we needed to inform you by that. And we write it back, and then we can follow the track and trace area and the contact area. And that's actually, it's a very simple solution, but I think it's very effective to help solve the problem and opening our businesses again.
Yeah, and I want to tell people how when I stumbled upon this and she was showing me this, I thought there has to be a company that's making this right now. I've seen little sign-in kiosks before at different offices back when we were able to travel. But nothing to this level where, usually it's just to alert somebody that you have a visitor in the lobby. Now it's, let's capture this information. Let's use it for this other process of reaching out, doing the right thing, contacting people that may have been exposed. And it's multi-purposed. I think as we were talking about it, right, we came up with some new questions. We added the new informed toggle really quickly. And this leads me into some other questions that are starting to come in. Somebody had asked, can you change like the reason for visiting?
Yeah,
You
sure.
have
Yep.
training meetings, so you can load up a different list of things, right?
Yes, you can.
And then another one is if you were a restaurant, maybe there were other topics, different things, different types of questions you might ask.
Well, here the questions are actually the same. You will find them in every area where you have to fill in a form. They are about the same. But I can imagine that in America or in the US or in Norway or in India, the questions are different. But you can just change the questions very easily.
Wonderful.
I think the Vizlib product or forms is very easy to handle, even for me as a non-taggy.
Right.
Yeah. And to show you how it responds, if I add your brother, I know that Josh is online as well. So
Yes.
let's so Josh's visiting is here as well. Josh. Again, nervous? No.
That's right.
So let's do something.
As my younger brother, we can say he says yes to one of these questions just to put it in there.
That's exactly what I'm going to do, because then I can show you that the risk is immediately there. So let's see, did you have one or more of the following mild complaints in the last 24 hours? So I'll put yes here, and then I will say submit. You can see that it's growing into two visitors on the 11th of December. And then when we go to the dashboard for the office manager again, you can see that there are 2 visitors with risk, and immediately it goes red. And from there we can have a discussion or can have a chat if there was a test necessary or whatever. So we can have a conversation about that. So immediately it responds on the yes side of the question.
And it's getting my like gears turning thinking about this too. If organizations, they're using Qlik today, they happen to have Qlik alerting, this could trigger an immediate, alert to a manager, to somebody in the organization to say, somebody just responded yes.
Yes.
Put the bouncer out front. They're not getting into our office.
Yeah.
Well,
even if you have, and you can see that it's real time, right? It's registering real time. Yeah. So I think that's the biggest benefit. And the second benefit is that if you have alerting or end printing, you even can say, run a job every 2-3 minutes and give me an alert if something happens within this area. So I think it could be very valuable to track and trace.
It becomes part of your processes, part of the workflows, like I'm imagining this like a front office worker, a manager in a restaurant, the people that are, out there trying to make sure you're hitting all of the required questions. In the US, restaurants and places will get shut down if they don't abide by certain rules. And this is a great way to track and trace it and say, these are all the steps that we take as a business. And that might actually help them increase their, the people coming to their business in a good way, in a safe way.
Yep.
And as we're starting to open things back up, having all this data, I think can be really, really helpful.
I think so too. And, it's safe because all the personal data are immediately gone. So nobody else sees it. The security in Qlik Sense is easy to handle. So we can say this sheet only for this and this sheet only for the office manager. So you can make it secure and you can handle, and you can track and trace. And I think that's the most valuable out of the product that is so strong that we are using.
And that first page, the form itself, you imagine that sitting on a tablet, like an iPad or something in the.
Oh, you can see it here in a full screen mode on my laptop. That's possible. You can put a laptop down with only that form visible. You can also put it on an iPad. Then you have to scroll like this. But it works. It works either way. It works on an iPad. It works on the computer. It works on a laptop.
Wonderful. So let's check. Other questions come in. You can use the Q&A panel or the chat. We can see both. Waleed said a little silly thing that he faced with the, I think it was talking about when you were clicking in the table on the date.
Yeah.
It didn't confirm your selection. So he's like, you have to click somewhere else for it to set.
Like here?
I think he meant on the second, or maybe it was the third tab that has all the details. You were trying to select Janice.
Yes.
I think he was saying, yeah, it might have not confirmed the selection initially.
Yeah, and I can do it also like that, of course, because the search icon is very easily handleable. And there you can see on my deal-tech list, I have one person who came in and has a risk. Yeah.
So let's talk a little bit about not full technical stuff, but how would somebody implement this in the organization? You mentioned there's this application when you're clicking the submit button. I think you said QVW, but we've been in the ClickView world forever, but it's a QVD that it's writing to it,
yes,
right?
Sorry, yes, a QVD.
That's fine.
Yeah.
So it's going to write to a QVD.
Yeah.
And then this application immediately reloads that information.
Real time.
So one of the folks were asking, how do we implement it in our organization? What does it take to get it to implement it?
Well, we will give the QVW for free, and the QVD and the QVF, and we will zip it in a file, and then you have to download, of course, the Vizlib extension or the product. I think it's the social part of your product, and then you install it, and it should run if you implement it.
Yeah, so the requirements here, somebody was asking, so don't currently have Qlik. You're going to need Qlik Sense. Everything we work on at Vizlib is built on Qlik Sense. I'll work with Angelica to pack up this application, the QVF and the QVD that it's storing to. We'll just have either sample data in it or it'll just be empty. We're going to zip it up and make it available on, we have a Vizlib app showcase page. We'll list it there. We'll put it on Qlik Community, and 2Foqus will put it on their website as well. Yeah, so we have a lot of different places.
Yes, and we will also put it on the Qlik community, on the COVID community as well. So we can share it with the world, because we don't, the initial idea was, okay, we build a solution, we can sell it, but it didn't feel right. When I was talking to Michael and Dave, my two managers, we just didn't feel confident enough to ask money for something like this. So, and this is our small gift, our small Christmas gift to the world, to help reopening the businesses again in a safe, regulated way.
Somebody brought up a very good point, which is they would like to do this for a nursing home, one of the most vulnerable populations, right? They're
Correct.
Already very restrictive here in many of our states on visitors. But I don't think there's a lot of inconsistencies in how they're tracking that. This would be wonderful for that.
Yes, I think so too.
So
we'll
maybe
you should show that page. So you take over my. So I will stop sharing, and you can show the page where people can find the application.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll share my screen here. Here's our next steps for everybody. We're going to get this shared out on the 2 or 3 places. If you'd like to, I want to mention this. You want to make some changes. You're not super familiar with the Vizlib tools and how to change the forms and things. 2Foqus can help you with that, help you to implement this, so you can reach out. Our contact information is here as well, so you have our emails. And while I'll leave that up on the screen for a second, mine's pretty easy. I wanted to show you where our demo location is. So out on Vizlib.com, we'll go to Demo Apps. And what we're going to do is create a new listing for the COVID-19 contact tracing app. So you can go through here. We'll take this one as an example, a healthcare related one. You simply go to the application. It'll give you some information, some screenshots. What does it use? And then it will be download the app, which will be a zip file that contains everything that you need to get started and play around with this. Again, if you need some help, please reach out. We'll get you contacted with 2Foqus and their team. And if you haven't used Vizlib before, and this might be your first time, we also have trials of our software. So you can get started for free across the board. It might be limited to only a certain number of users, but it'll give you a good idea of how to use this and how it can work in your organization.
Yeah.
And then let's see if there's other questions that are coming through. A few more. What if a notification happens on day 13 and then you reset the clock? Would it fall outside of day 14? This is more of a GDPR type of question, right?
I don't know exactly how to interpret that. If the notification happens.
So if somebody comes back on, one day before it's about to be wiped and tells you, what happens then? You just have that one day to start doing contact tracing?
Yes, no, because it looks back 14 days, right? So you have the register date, and we go 14 days back. So if somebody comes again on the day 13, and if he comes in the office again, he has to register again. Then he has 2 lines.
Okay.
Right?
Yep.
So then he for example, on the 1st of December and on the 13th of December, he has a line. And tomorrow, the 1st of December will be gone, but the other one will remain for 13 days or 14 days more.
Perfect. So people are coming to the office for trainings. Are they seeing that entire dashboard or just the form?
Only the form. The Writeback form is the other one, Alexandria. The other one is where I corrected the risk. When somebody calls me later and asks me and tells me, "Oh, I'm sorry, I got tested and I am tested positive. Could you please inform the other attendees of the training?" That's the question that I, as an office manager, will do in the Writeback form. On the front end, that's the only thing that is visible. That's the form where you register. That's only for our visitors.
I could see how that could be confusing too, because we showed you just hit next to go to the next page. This could actually be an entirely separate application with just the form to capture data.
Also, we can split it, but we can also do in the security rules of Qlik Sense, we also can say this form can only be used with that user, the common user, and the other one, the dashboard and the Writeback, is for the office manager alone. So we can do I think you call that a role-based security level or something like that.
Right.
Yeah.
Costs on the extension. So our products, this comes under the Vizlib collaboration, which is this product here. I think I'm still showing my screen. I totally forgot. Yeah. And under Vizlib collaboration, it includes not only the what we call the Writeback table, which was that last one where Angelica was making corrections and saw a full list, but also an input form, which is what we use on the kiosk. It also includes teamwork, which we didn't touch on, but is interesting for many different use cases in Qlik, where you want to share insights with your colleagues. There are some examples of it on the website here. It's kind of like Slack or Microsoft Teams built into Qlik Sense. And so your teams can communicate with visualizations, selections, and even drive some workflows with that too. So if there are questions about this, we're always happy to do a deep dive. I can demo some things for you and show you the many different use cases around Writeback and teamwork. But in this particular one, we're using this technology alongside Qlik Sense from the group at 2Foqus.
Yeah, sure. And if you need help, guys, in installing or make changes, just come online and we will figure it out for you.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think we're good on the questions. Oh yeah, Bart had something. You're writing back to QVDs. Are you doing that with other apps or just this use case? Not sure.
Well, I use the Writeback actually in some more applications. I'm trying to develop solutions to help me to do my work easier. And I'm now working with my team on a solution for project management, because we use the beautiful Gantt chart of Vizlib, and we have, of course, some standard functionality from Qlik Sense. But to see how my project budget goes against booking the hours that we really did. I can easily manage now the budget versus the hours that we actually did. So it's from a perspective of project management, I think that was a handy, easy one, right, Joe? I showed it to you, I think, last week as well.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah.
And so you can choose that destination where you write the data to, I think is important, because some folks, they want to use QVDs. It's very fast to do that. Others want to write back to a SQL database, an Oracle database. We support all of those flavors of different destinations. And then the a nice part is it can trigger a reload of the data automatically, which gives us that more real-time use of the data.
Yeah,
so
exactly
we're
what you saw.
the data capture.
And that's actually what you saw in the form that we used, where I registered you as a visitor in my office or for a training or for a conversation. Immediately it goes away, but immediately real time my dashboard is also updated. That's for registering, but also for correcting the data.
Wonderful.
Yeah. Okay, so I think we covered everything, right?
Yeah, that was it.
Cool.
Yeah, great job. Thank you for hopping on this morning and getting to catch up a little bit there. We had a little bit of behind the scenes if you joined early. And we'll get the recording, and we'll also let people know once we have this all packed up. We'll give you a couple different links where you can go find it, download it. We'd be happy to help you wire it up and get going.
Yes, definitely.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks for the floor, Joe. It was great.
Yeah, always good to have you online and see you. And please be well, everybody. We're pulling for you all around the globe. And hopefully this will help us get back to work safely in the near future.
Yeah, be safe, be healthy, and take care, guys. Okay,
Take care.
be well. Okay,
Bye-bye.
Thank you, Joe. Bye-bye.
Thank you.